Hey guys, welcome back to another mobile mukbang. I'm Michael,
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Sam.
and today we're at Firehouse Subs.
And we have all got something completely different. So, let's start out with the food roll call. Mike?
I have the Cajun chicken combo.
So what's all on that? Like, obviously more than just chicken, because Cajun implies something spicy.
Chicken, looks like some jalapeno, some cheese, lettuce, and then I have jalapeno flavored chips as well. So
Okay. And...
So I'm not looking forward to going home with them, but
Alright, and for me, I got what's known as the New York Steamer, which is pastrami and corned beef, which I think is a personal, combination of, king meats. Like, there are certain meats that I just put above all else. Pastrami is by far one of my favorite. Now,
corned beef is for me.
They're both really good. That being said, some corned beef cuts could definitely be better, but that's talking about brisket. We're talking about deli sliced here. Now, there's more to just the sandwich than just the meats. I got a little bit of some, was it provolone cheese, was it?
I think it was.
I think it was provolone cheese or something like that. And then just a tiny bit of honey mustard. Normally, there's this deli mustard they get, but it's a bit spicy. I'm not really all that good with spice. So what I ask is a substitution of honey mustard, which is something I like. So that is a situation that I got going. Sam, what do you got?
I have a half-eaten cookie because this is actually take two, but either way. My sandwich, which is the main course, is a smokehouse beef and cheddar sandwich on wheat. Looks like these guys both got white, and I don't think there's actually, not really any extra. Oh yeah, barbecue sauce. There's barbecue sauce on it as well.
Barbecue sauce. That's
Something
Chili's. But remember that commercial? Anyway.
Oh god, that's old at this point.
Yeah.
The old box. What do you expect?
True.
We're getting there.
Some of us faster than others.
Not necessarily faster, you just had an early start. So that comprises your sandwich, right?
You
So
have the latest start of all three of us.
that is true. But then we also got different sodas to go along with this because they got
the same.
Oh, did you get the same?
You got the cherry limeade?
You got the cherry limeade. I got the Barks cream soda with the vanilla because they got the Coca-Cola mix machine where you get all the different flavors. Freestyle. So a lot of restaurants are just going towards that because options, variety is the spice of life. But now we've got to get to the meat of the subject, pun intended, and actually eat. We came here to eat because this is
But I'm
restaurant
enjoying
number
my
3.
cookie.
Okay, well you can eat your sub sandwich and then the cookie though.
But my cookie's almost done. I might
All
as
right,
well
well
finish
then,
it.
eating your dessert before dinner, Sam. Has your mother taught you nothing about etiquette?
Oh, she taught me more about etiquette than most people. I choose to ignore it. Hell, I had cake before this.
It's true.
Well, I guess this is the benefit of being an adult.
Exactly.
Well, anywho, so this is stop number 3 on our sub sandwich tour we're doing for this season.
And you might remember back in April we went to the Subway as well, but we decided to postpone that due to, not postpone, but exclude, because we've already been there, so we don't need to go again.
That's back in the season 1 playlist, by the way, if you're interested. The bread. The bread itself does not pack a ton of flavor, but the bread is a perfect texture. It's super fresh baked, and instead of having any crispiness to it, it's soft.
Same with the
I
cookie.
like that.
I think the baked goods are baked fresh.
Right.
I
That'd be
mean,
pretty good.
I'm guessing based on texture and everything, because the cookie's nice and soft too.
Yeah, this is
So, I thought this was going to be spicy. It's not. It's sweet.
really.
To me, it's sweet.
See, I wonder what it would be to me because I'm so incredibly sensitive to spices.
Well, have you had
This-
a jalapeno yet either?
Yes.
Okay, so one
This
bite
has
that.
got a good mix of sauces, and the texture of the meat is also really, really on point. Now, to be fair, I am using my 2 favorite meats versus like a standard ham sandwich, which is kind of what I normally go with. But when I saw they had this combination, I mean, this is what I would normally get on a Reuben. Whenever I get a Reuben sandwiches, I always get pastrami and corned beef. If it has to be one or the other, I always go pastrami. I know corned beef is like the standard on a Reuben. Don't ask me.
You are a heathen.
I am not traditional when it comes to a Reuben, but man, pastrami is like, just in general has a lot of flavor. But the sauces they got going on with this and the cheese everything is balanced like perfectly as I bite into this. Mm-hmm.
Now that brings up an interesting point. Of any sort, be a sandwich or otherwise, fast food places have a harder time striking up a balance because they always use the same serving utensils for any given ingredient.
Possibly. I will say this though about the sub. Although the balance is probably near perfection, I feel there's not a ton of substance to it in terms of how much you're getting. Like, if we look at the sandwich here, there's not a ton of meat all up in this thing. Versus what you guys got, your sandwiches are just far more packed with food.
It's probably just a sandwich.
It very could well be. I mean, like, okay, for instance, I paid we all got the combo, so a side and a drink. So my sandwich by itself was $7. How much was your guys' sandwich according to your receipts?
Well,
The sandwich itself?
Mm-hmm.
$7.99.
$8.99.
Okay, so your sandwiches were more expensive. So it could be totally justified. Like, I probably could have asked and paid for double the meat, which I still think would probably go a really well balanced with this. You know, this is the exact opposite of how I felt about Jersey Mike's. I felt Jersey Mike's went with such a shotgun approach with all the different meats and all the different sauces, etc. This is like a well thought out, perfect combination on this particular sandwich.
Yeah, it was Jersey Mike's.
Mm-hmm.
The balance on this is actually pretty good too.
Yeah, same
Looks
here.
like there's a different sauce or cheese on here besides what was named, so I must have missed something. But
Either way, they've got this thing down.
Well, they also have mayonnaise.
Well, yeah, I mean, all these sandwiches have some mayonnaise.
what?
Yeah, it's got mayonnaise on it. It says it on the board.
I didn't see it on the board for mine.
There's a second board.
That's why I always
It's
ask what
all-
the sandwich is made of, like, to the person, because, like, if I didn't know that the deli mustard was spicy, I might not be enjoying this as much as I am right now, but I
I don't
asked.
know. Depending on their definition of spicy.
Well, that's true. That's true. Everyone is a little different.
Here.
It's not like every restaurant has, like, a Scoville unit for everything. So this is a piece of chicken, right?
Yeah.
From Mike's. It's supposed to be spicy. Now, I'm really sensitive to spice. If this is spicy, I'm gonna taste it.
But on the other hand, if the spice only comes from the peppers that they throw on, then it probably won't have too much.
Now, sometimes there's like an afterburn, like as it goes down. As it sits, not really. There's this slightest tingle, but nothing that
chipped,
I would
Mike.
consider spicy.
You got chipped. So don't get
Yeah, it's kind of like
Firehouse.
there's
has no
definitely a pepper in there, but it's not a spicy pepper. It's like a seasoning pepper.
fire. Firehouse has no fire.
Well, I would say these sandwiches are pretty fire.
I meant in the sense of spice. Otherwise, I agree with you.
I'm surprised at the lack of people in here, honestly, considering this is, in my opinion, way better than Jersey
It's like
Mike's.
more sweet though.
What's the
I
time?
wouldn't say yours is sweet. I would say it's a seasoning, but not a spiciness. You know, not up in there with like high Scoville units or capsaicin burning. It's like a flavor spice, which is perfectly fine by me. I add tons of flavoring spices on my meats that I cook at home all the time. There's a difference between spice and spicy, just for the record. But
doesn't the state spicy?
I don't know.
Yeah. Spicy Cajun chicken.
The word Cajun is what really makes you think it's going to be spicy, because a lot of Cajun food has a lot of spice, man.
Has a kick to it, yeah.
The chips have a little more of a kick than the sandwich.
Now that's interesting, because when I think of Cajun, I think of like New Orleans, right? You go down there to New Orleans, you get yourself like a crawfish fry.
Though technically, strictly speaking, not everything they have is super spicy, so...
Oh, I mean, I'm sure not everything anywhere is exactly as the stereotype would make it out to be.
Yeah.
It's like not every restaurant in Chicago or New York is a pizza shop with deep dish only.
The rest of them are just heathens.
You really are on that word today.
What are you talking about? He's the one who said it first.
You two are just a dynamic duo of strangeness.
Yeah, it comes with living with a person.
It is true.
So, by the way, these sodas are pretty good. It feels like they're using a thicker syrup than a lot of these places, which I imagine is something you can set on the machine. I could be wrong. But
I don't know about these machines, but I know other ones, yeah, you set them.
Now, I have not tried the chips yet. I didn't go for a spicy. I got a smokehouse barbecue, which may have a slight kick to it.
Watch that be the spiciest thing yet.
Chips are always interesting because the powder, you can flavor it up like in almost anything. We've seen that with Lay's and their competition.
Okay, I was about to say, Lay's isn't the only one.
Yeah, there's so many weird
Pickle
chip
flavored ones. You guys
Dude,
remember that?
Those are good.
I'm not a big
If you
fan
like
of pickle.
pickles.
In fact,
True.
Mike, would you like my pickle? Okay. Would you like the pickle that is part of the sandwich? Because I am not a pickle person. So here's what I'll do. I will stab the pickle, rightfully so, with this kebab thingy. You know, I don't know what it is. I cannot get like into pickles or tomatoes. They're just not my thing.
Tomatoes have to be prepped right for me. Either thinly sliced, diced, or like in the sauce.
Yeah, and to be fair, anyone who says, "Oh, well, you like ketchup," right? First off, ketchup is a vinegar-based preserve. It has tomatoes as one of its primary ingredients, but it is more vinegar than it is tomato.
Also,
Well, a vinegar-based preserve. Okay, so maybe there's a lot of tomato, but it's a lot of different things in
hang
one.
on.
It's not just tomato.
No. That's what I want to point out. Ketchup, strictly speaking, does not have to be tomato. It's vinegar-based.
You got a point.
The original form of ketchup was actually mushroom and vinegar.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
We have.
Not necessarily on the show, though. So, for your reference, ketchup was originally designed as a sauce for fish, of all things, and it was made out of mushrooms.
And yet, if you put ketchup on your sushi, you're a heathen. So yeah, even now I'm using the word.
We all have to use it once, apparently.
To be
this
fair,
episode.
the only person I've ever heard of them doing that is Jim Gaffigan. We all know that comedian, right? Jim Gaffigan. Who?
Name rings a bell.
Oh, come on. Jim Gaffigan's hilarious.
But
Now, the chips here, Miss Vicky's. I don't know if this is an in-house brand or not. No?
No.
Okay. Because Jimmy John's has their own in-house brand of chips. And then, did Firehouse, or, I'm sorry, not Firehouse, did Jersey Mike's? They had their own too, didn't they? I could have sworn I saw something like that. But I could be wrong.
I don't think it was their brand.
it's a Canadian brand owned by Frito-Lay's.
Frito-Lay? Okay, so it's definitely not. Okay. I gotcha. Chips are pretty good, though. Definitely not like a kick to it, but they got flavor to it, so.
They're
I'm good with that.
kettle, I believe.
Yep.
I'm going to get back into this sandwich because, dude, the sandwich is done right.
And I'm just sitting here because I'm out of sandwich.
Have a chip.
I'd have some of his, but I'm not really into chips either.
You know, out of the three of us, I think you're the fastest at eating.
I tend to be. When your grandfather steals all your food when you're young, you learn to eat quick. Even if you're busy with other stuff.
I was always told I'm a fast eater, but then again, I am talking a lot when we do these little episodes.
I mean, maybe so, but you keep a decent pace even still.
It's the mix of sauces. Like, they have some sort of sauce mixed in with the mayonnaise.
It had mayo in it, and I'm okay with it. I don't like mayo, so they're doing something right.
Okay, but granted, you both had regular sized sandwiches. I had a large.
Yeah, and I've outpaced you with similar sized foods before.
Okay, you know what? On this side of the sandwich, there is more meat. So maybe...
So they just got lopsided.
Yeah.
They need to check the QC, man.
Now, I don't think this place cuts the meat fresh like Jersey Mike's does.
No, they do.
Do they? Do they really? I didn't see it.
Quick note on my little jest. The employees here have been great so far. Nothing against them. They're fine. I'm just making a joke off the situation.
I saw the refrigerator back there, and they had the full thing of meat.
Did they?
In the refrigerator.
I think I saw a actual, what was it even called? Box? Bricks? Of meat? Before it's sliced for deli meat.
You know, I've never thought about that. A chunk?
If you know, leave it in the comments below.
Could be a brisket.
I don't
A
feel
brisket
like,
of meat? I guess that might be a particular, like, beef brisket, but then that's not really what gets sliced into deli meat. Now I'm confused.
Yeah, same here.
Barbecue season's coming up, my dudes. Okay, this side is just packed with more meat. So I don't retract my previous statement, but I think it was evened out better. It'd be like near perfection, but I'm telling you, this sandwich, this is hitting the spot. And let's see, for this size, this is how many inches do they say? 8 inches. So for 8 inches at $7, so that's about the same amount of money per inch if you compare like 6 inches from like Subway or something. But this is clearly a better sandwich all around. Subway is the fast food of sub sandwiches.
Meat is linked to cancer.
Dude, everything is linked to cancer
like,
now.
this has a fairly positive.
Is that from
link.
California?
No, it's Europe actually.
Oh.
Between processed meat consumption and technically mortality due to cardiovascular.
I mean mortality. Morality
and
would be your mental guidance.
And cancer. So.
Okay, you got to look at statistics like that though.
Yeah, no, there's
because like it could be like, oh, it raises the risk. Like realistically, they'll say a good number, but if you comparatively, do it proper, then it's like, oh, the risk is like 1 in whatever millions. So, to be fair, like anything nowadays is going to say it gives you cancer. Like WebMD should just rename itself to it's probably cancer.com.
I think that's taken actually.
I'm pretty sure it is. Someone's probably already done that.
It'd be funny if someone hacked WebMD and actually just had it happen over there.
Not to offend anyone who's ever gone through anything like that. It's a horrible thing to have to go through. More power to anyone who's gone through it and come out stronger on the other end, But I'm just saying that if you look at the warnings on things, almost everything nowadays says something cancer related. It's important to have context to everything.
I know.
But to quote Gabriel Iglesias, another comedian, but Gabriel, don't you want to live to see 100? Well, not if I can't have tacos or cake. Say the one word you know in Spanish.
Cake?
Oh, I thought you said porque.
No.
I'm going like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's generally a bad idea to use your entire vocabulary in a single sentence.
Now, why is this place called Firehouse Subs? I get that, they got the Firehouse thing going on, but I guess, yeah, because they do this for, like, if you want to donate, go round up to the nearest dollar.
Yep. Because their equipment is expensive.
Absolutely. And to be fair, it's not just the firemen who fight fires that go to the fire department. Hazmat is part of the fire department as well. And they, like, those who are on the dedicated hazmat teams, they never get any love because they're not firefighters. People don't really look into the hazmat side of things a lot. But, man, they are the unsung heroes of they do a dirty job that is, like, thankless by, like, the community, because everyone knows firefighters. When kids grow up, they say, I want to be a firefighter. And they never see, I want to be a hazmat technician. But, let's not
diffuser?
Bomb technician.
Yeah. Let's not discount the brave men and women who are in the hazmat crews, because that is a scary job just as much as fighting fires. It's a different kind of scary.
Although I totally agree, anybody in emergency services, realistically.
That's true.
Totally, respect to all of them. If it wasn't for the EMTs that were so good at their jobs, my aunt and my uncle wouldn't be alive right now.
I just have luck in my family for that.
So props to all the brave men and women who work in our local communities and do these legit jobs that are just straight up ridiculous to think about as like the average person.
Yeah. And going back to your family just gets up and walks to the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I said. We just rely on blind luck. For reference, my family just seems to have a deal with death where we get ignored 5 times and then we have to deal with it.
They're a medical and statistical anomaly. Like, their entire family is just that way. Okay, so we've had our sandwiches, we've had our chips, we've had our drinks. It's now time to determine if the food was worth the money. Now, Mike, why don't you start us out here? How much did you pay, and was it worth it?
Before or after my donation?
Before. A donation is a voluntary thing, not really tied to this experience.
Yeah. You know your price before donation anyway. Oh. I do DoorDash too. Nice.
$12.83.
All right, $12.83.
Yeah.
And you got the full size sub.
Yeah, I got the large sub, large drink, a thing of
Quick
chips.
note on the drinks for viewers' sake. When you get a combo, all size drinks are the same price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a little discussion about that before we ordered, but keep on going with your situation here.
But with all this, yeah, I think it's worth it.
Flavor better than Jersey Mike's? We got to compare that. It's better than Jimmy John's?
Ooh. I'm going to say it's on par with Jimmy John's. Jersey Mike's is just, after having them a few times and going for the same exact sandwich each time, it never exactly tastes the same.
I mean, that's commonplace whenever you get the same thing over and over.
But Jimmy John's, I've had the same exact sandwich.
So they're not as consistent, but to be fair, with Jersey Mike's, it's more of an artistic experience in a sandwich. That's giving a lot of credit towards someone who makes a sandwich, but Okay, so on par with Jimmy John's, but better than Jersey Mike's, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I paid, let's see, $10.98. Now that includes the drink, the side, the sandwich. Now, for me, it is a straight up, no doubt in my mind, yes. That sandwich, out of all the places we've been to, whether it's Subway, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, this was the best tasting sandwich. Out of all of them, hands down, nothing to even complain about. It was perfect in just about every way. The only thing I think I might change is like adding more meat to it, but beyond that, the way it was put together, all the flavors complemented each other versus Jersey Mike's going with like the scattered shotgun approach of flavors. This was thought out. This was put together properly. This was good. All right. So that's me, and then Sam.
I largely agree. I paid actually closer to Mike, though I had something similar to you. I paid $12.06, I think. Yeah, $12.06. Flavor-wise, my sandwich was great. It was decently filling, all things given. I think the sizing arrangement's a little weird, but that's more on the company, but that's also neither here nor there. The cookie was nice and soft, so that was good. Yeah, I've got no complaints. Definitely a top-tier place.
Yeah.
Now, compare it to Jimmy John's and Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
Better? But the both of them?
I'll be completely honest, I'd have to hit them up again to be 100% sure, but they are definitely, like I said, right up there on top.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much does it. We talked about the soda, we talked about the subs, we talked about the value. I think...
quick note. Myself and Mike had the same drink, and it's in-house, what was it?
An in-house brand. It's called...
they had an in-house brand? I didn't see that.
Cherry Lime?
Yeah, it's a cherry limeade, and it is very well done. It's very nice.
And you have an option to actually even get more lime for it.
Nice.
Yeah, it says you can get lime, add lime.
A lime shot flavor?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought it said light.
No. There was a... if you look at the screen, it says add more lime, and on the counter, there are limes right there.
Okay, so it's like a flavor shot. You can add like with all the other drinks.
But it's an actual lime.
An actual lime?
No,
Yes.
yeah, there's outside of the drink machine, there are limes on the side.
Oh.
And lemon.
Well, that's unusual. Interesting but unusual. But I think we are all in agreement in saying that Firehouse subs as a whole is a fantastic option for sub sandwiches. Like, it's so far the best in my opinion.
Yeah. Quick note, I agree with you. For the lemons and lime thing, it's actually less common than people think. Most of them keep them behind the counter so that they don't go bad as quickly.
Gotcha. Well, I think this wraps up this episode, guys. So why don't we give a toast? And Sam, you want to black us out here?
Why not? Bye.